hold-up in the great crunchy train robbery. The first 5,000 entries receive an instant prize. Plus, win a BNZ Auto Access account worth $5,000. If you already have an Auto Access account, BNZ will deposit $10,000. Claim your share in the great crunchy train robbery.
Have a crunchy, hokey bar. Crazy crunchy, hokey bar.
Steal an entry form soon from any crunchy stockist.
These two toast and grill ovens both look the same. They both toast, bake, brown and grill. So what's the difference? This one still has the old price tag. This one has the new one, now only $179.95, and it comes with one important extra, a $15 cashback offer. That's $179.95 minus another $15. That's a big difference. That's the GE Toast and Grill Big Difference Sale at a retailer near you. This is a limited offer. Don't miss it.
This is the IBM PC, a good computer that costs around $6,500. And this is the XL PC. It will do all that machine can do, even run the same programs, yet costs less than half the price. I'm Philip Ellis, and if you're wondering why the price difference, call me collect on Auckland 395 344 or at Computer Imports 520 Queen Street. We've got computers for big budgets and computers for small budgets.
When you want that summer sun, or to give a special treat, to steal the show, it's time to go and leave that one-way street. When days have flown, my how they've grown, and your future famous dancer. When you need us, we'll be waiting, because Bangkok is the answer. It's the one to let you run your life the way you should today. Bangkok's the answer.
This finger is going to change the way you have coffee or tea, because Cafe Bar has developed a new finger touch coffee and tea dispenser. It doesn't matter when you have it or how you have it, instant, perked or brewed. New Cafe Bar serves it all at the touch of a finger. Simple, no mess. For a free demonstration, use your finger and dial 09 687 198. Collect. Buy Sensor Touch and we'll give you a 12-piece cup and saucer set. Go on, touch Cafe Bar. Soon.
Kids talk about tip-top multigrain.
Very yummy, yummy. The little bits don't stick in my tooth. I like it that it's white bread. Do you want one of my sandwiches?
Kids like tip-top multigrain because it's good, fresh white bread they like with pre-softened multigrains for goodness and fibre.
Good on your mum. Tip-top's the one. Good on your mum.
Tip-top multigrain, the first multigrain for kids.
Doesn't make my hair go curly.
Enjoy a little conversation, laughter and entertainment tomorrow at 10 on 2 in Tonight with Kathy Saunders.
Sanitarium, roll out your favourite family spreads in these attractive glass kitchen barrels. Reuse them for storage or preserving. Free labels available too.
New Lysol spray disinfectant kills germs on all household surfaces, even kills flu virus. Lysol.
Get going now for the Hit Blitz 1986 16 solid gold hits. The Hit Blitz 1986 has hit your record store now.
My home.
My wife and kids. A comfortable retirement.
My own business. My health.
There are 500,000 important
My
reasons
career.
for the insurance and financial services
Money.
of National Mutual.
Mummy and Daddy.
When it's important to you, it's important to us.
Isuzu's #1 legend lives on in the Black Belt Isuzu range. Stronger, more powerful, more efficient. Isuzu Black Belt trucks from 1.5 to 45 tons. Isuzu Trucks, New Zealand's #1.
Some cleaning jobs seem bigger than they really are, like cleaning the oven. But Mr. Muscle Oven Cleaner soon brings that job down to size. Next morning, baked on gunk wipes right off. And dirty windows that seemed enormous are short work for Mr. Muscle Glass Cleaner. Glass shines streak-free and sparkling clean. Mr. Muscle Multi-Surface Cleaner brings a big cleaning job down to size. 3 solvents plus ammonia dissolve built-up grease, leaving surfaces spring fresh. Mr. Muscle brings a big job down to size.
Some passing canoeists called in to visit the out of her territory.
When you want a hatchback that's more than a city shopper, one name stands out. Holden Barina. Blue Ribbon Engineering and Reliability. Blue Ribbon Space, Comfort and Versatility. Blue Ribbon Economy with 1.3-litre highway performance. Blue Ribbon Barina. See it soon.
Hermitite, Britain's adhesives and sealants. Vinyl repair fixes without patching. Leak stopper seals underwater. Non-flammable contact adhesives. Cold solder needs no heat. Automotive sealants and so many others. Super Glue Plus, and Super Glue Remover. Hermitite, never stuck for a solution. Was that all right? I haven't had much experience with this sort of thing.
No matter which way you look at it, you can tell it's a great cup of tea by its tag. Agelets tea bags bring you the flavour-rich quality of a premium tea blend, coupled with the extra convenience of strings and tags. A tea bag packed with the rich flavour of Agelets. For the teapot or the cup, Agelets tea bags give you a great cup of tea every time, no matter which way you look at it.
When you're small and lonely, it's always nice to hear from a friend, like Chimeball, because friends are so dear. Friends come in all shapes and sizes. Here's Humpty Dumpty. He pops up when you need him to share adventures like fishing and sailing. There's the Play School desk to help you learn to draw and spell. It's always nice to have a friend, because friends are what friends are for.
Play School. Our toys make good friends.
The house on the right sports thick pink fiberglass bats. The one on the left did not. That is why his power bill comes as a bit of a shock. If he has a modicum of intemperance, he will phone Foreman Insulation right now and take full advantage of their free installation service and thus avoid escalating power bills. No matter what hour of the day or night, call Foreman Insulation, New Zealand's #1 home insulation company. Foreman Insulation of Great South Road, Penrose, for thick pink fiberglass bats.
And FTC Farmers, I promise, is better shopping for you.
Hi, I'm Brian Williams. Now our Super Tramps are available exclusively through your nearest FTC Farmers store. And at FTC Farmers, you can collect a copy of our Together Plan brochure. This tells you how you can lay by for Christmas or have up to 24 months to pay. But either way, beat GST now and save up to $102. Together, we've got something great for you at FTC Farmers.
Meet the men and women who share the triumphs and tragedies of life in an Australian outback town. A country practice, tomorrow at 2:30 on 2.
My life. It's nothing but the same thing day after day.
When a girl's as bored and depressed as Agnes, it's lucky her boss is Maddie Hayes, because Maddie's giving her a night on the town, glamorous clothes and exciting makeup.
Oh, Mr. Pesto.
But Mr. Pesto's delight will be short-lived when she becomes embroiled in espionage, counter-espionage, secret agents and murder. Friday is Mr. Pesto's night in moonlighting, 8:30 on 2.
What does it do for your spirit? What does it do for your pride? Does it cut like a knife when they tell you, sorry, we're not on your side? What does it do for your spirit when they forget who they're working for? And regardless of the hours you kept, theirs were 9 to 4. And the money you've worked hard to earn by doing what you do best is suddenly up for higher but earning no interest. So what does it do for your spirit when you've made it to the peak. And for all the help they offer, it makes you want to weep. You see, we reckon it's our duty to tap the spirit inside. So don't get mad, get even when your rights are being denied.
Because we want to give other banks a run for their money, trustee banks offer more and deliver more. And that is what the spirit of banking is all about.
So don't get mad, get even. Get the spirit on your side.
If you install a Kent fire this winter, you'll enjoy all the warmth for a fraction of the cost.
I see that power's gone up again, dear.
Shocking, isn't it? When it comes to home heating, no one comes close to Kent.
Get going now for the Hit Blitz 1986 16 solid gold hits. The Bangles.
Just another manic Monday.
Eurythmics.
It's alright, baby's coming back.
Jimmy Barnes. The Hit Blitz 1986 has hit your record store now.
Good evening. In tonight's news, the Van Grafhorst family, including 3-year-old daughter Eve, who has the AIDS virus, have flown into this country this evening from Australia and will settle in Hawke's Bay. In the Auckland High Court, 4 men have been sentenced for their part in the Operation Fruit drug ring, a conspiracy the trial judge described as one which would have flooded New Zealand with heroin. And Cavaliers coach Colin Meads has arrived back in the country from South Africa, saying he hopes the players in the Cavaliers squad aren't penalised for going on the tour. We'll have further details, Eyewitness News, 9:30.
You wouldn't want them on your job, but tomorrow they'll bring the house down. Cowboys, tomorrow at 7 on 2.
I'm dressed in this, and it's 12 below zero.
Go on, give them an extra treat, something different that's fun to eat. Nothing tastes as tasty as Arnott's raspberry tartlets.
Arnott's Raspberry Tartlets, a delicate shortcake tartlet with a tangy raspberry flavoured centre.
16 tartlets, round and sweet, they really are fun to eat. Nothing tastes as tasty as Arnott's raspberry tartlets.
Arnott's Raspberry Tartlets, a tasty treat for dessert too.
Hello, I'm the new FlexiCash account from the Southern Cross Building Society, aren't I?
Oh, yes, I am.
I'm a modern top interest savings account.
I'm a big fat cash advance, like an overdraft. Extra cash for something important.
I'm available on call with top daily interest, aren't I?
Oh, yes. And all in one account.
FlexiCash from the Southern Cross Building Society, your top interest savings account.
And extra cash for something important.
And FTC Farmers, I promise, is better shopping for you.
Hi, I'm Brian Williams. Now our Super Tramps are available exclusively through your nearest FTC Farmers store. And at FTC Farmers, you can collect a copy of our Together Plan brochure. This tells you how you can lay by for Christmas or have up to 24 months to pay. But either way, beat GST now and save up to $102. Together, we've got something great for you at FTC Farmers.
Rebel All Black coach Colin Meads returns home to an uncertain future. A full interview, Eyewitness News, tonight at 9:30.
Come on and see the show.
Still to come tonight on 2, the plague of today strikes St Elsewhere when Anthony is diagnosed as having AIDS. Following St Elsewhere, Super Cops Starsky and Hutch. But in a moment, the day's news from the Eyewitness team.
I can't come.
What do you mean you can't come?
What I said, Dixie, I can't come here, you deaf or daft.
You're buggering the job up for the lot of us, you know that, don't you?
What do you expect me to do, take the kids with me?
Well, he's taking his goose and his sodden pigeons.
I'm me ferret.
Scrounging for work, wherever they can find it, laying the black stuff, always looking, hoping for the big break.
God knows. There's nothing like hope.
Incisive social comment, shrouded in a play of brilliant dimension. Ellen Bleasdale's The Black Stuff, Saturday, 8:30 on 2.
A communal garden, speculator. The beauty of a wall carpet is that your eye won't pick it up, but your vacuum cleaner will. You see, a wall fiber's opaque and won't show the nitty-gritties, even though they're here, tacked by the scales, which, of course, makes rooting out a piece of cake. Remember, only Woolmark carpet guarantees you all of the world's unique qualities in every tuft, and you can't ask for better than that. Woolmark carpet, qualities man can never recreate.
Ah, the sweet sound of a tea trolley gently wending its way towards the oppressed and downtrodden.
Someone's having a shout today.
A trolley laden with Griffin's chocolate biscuits, I hear.
Oh, the fresh taste of macaroons and chocolate.
Mellow Puff's Mum's favourite.
Greetings, oh beautiful bearer of beautiful biscuits.
Sorry, love, Count's got there first.
This goes for drastic action. Where's the order forms?
Always fresh, always good, always disappearing.
That's Griffin.
Hello, Mum. Could you open a tin of something? I might be a bit late.
Go to Barnett and buy Hansborg furniture, lifestyle carpets, sleep easy mattresses and waterbeds, Lazy Boy recliner rockers and Simpson home appliances. Remember, you're no more than 25 minutes away from one of New Zealand's largest selections of furnishings. You'll get no charge for terms, cash discounts and top money for trade-ins. See them now for one of their unbeatable deals. Barnett, 2 great stores, Dominion Road, Mount Roskill and Forest Hill, North Shore. Remember, you always buy better from the family firm.
Hello, Michael Hill, jeweller. My diamond jewellery is competitively priced anywhere in the world. The reasons for this are threefold. First, the government duty and sales tax has been drastically reduced. Second, because of my increased volume, I am able to buy direct from the source. And third, I make the jewellery myself, eliminating the wholesalers' markups. Michael Hill, importer and manufacturer of fine diamond jewellery.
Good evening. Tonight, the return of rugby rebel Colin Meads with a full interview.
Also tonight, little Eve, shunned in Australia because she has the AIDS virus, arrives with her family in New Zealand to start a new life.
And the politics of international aid, how a cyclone has helped the Americans patch up their differences with the Solomon Islands.
Colin Meads, the coach of one of the most controversial sports teams ever to leave this country, arrived home this morning determined to continue his role as a rugby administrator. Meads, an all-black selector, is thought to be the first of the Cavaliers to return from South Africa. He again denied that the team had accepted a large sum of money and said he was still committed to national rugby in this country. The rugby union is expected to discuss his future next week. Meads was met at Auckland Airport by Eyewitness News editor Colin McRae.
Colin, on 2 levels, first of all, rugby. Was it a success for rugby?
Well, I can't speak whether it was a success or not. We weren't successful as a team and we were terribly disappointed about that. But all I can say to New Zealand people, the team played terribly, terribly well, and particularly in that last test, and we should have won it and were beaten by some very indifferent rulings by a referee. So I'm only speaking for the players. They played terribly well and some of them played way and above any of their performances they've ever given here in New Zealand.
What's the future for you now as a selector? There's a cloud there.
Yes, there's a cloud there, and until I have a meeting with the New Zealand Rugby Union, I won't know.
What is your wish?
Oh, well, my desire is to stay on as a New Zealand selector and, still try and put something into rugby that I've always wanted to do.
What indications have you had as to what may or may not happen?
I've had no indications as to what may happen.
Did the team as a whole sign the clearances which were sent to you in South Africa?
The team as a whole don't sign anything. They were sent individually, and it's an individual arrangement between the players and the union.
Did any individual sign them?
You'll have to ask the individuals that, but I don't know that they have at this stage.
Were you asked to sign one?
No, because I'm not a player.
Now, the big thing that's hung over this entire tour is what was paid to players, administrators and the coach yourself. Was anything paid? Was any cash paid?
The players received what is classed as the international board rate for the whole tour from the time we left New Zealand to the time they get back. And basically that's about all they've received.
The airfares were paid for the team. What about for wives, girlfriends, etc.?
Well, I didn't take my wife with me on this tour, and I think you'll have to ask some of those did.
You were there. Did you not get an inkling of what was happening with other members of the party?
Well, obviously there are inklings, and it could have been a perk for the wives and that, although then again I know it costs some of the players quite a lot of money to have their wives there, so...
At least one player gave up his job to go, which fueled speculation that there must have been money involved.
No, I think the player that gave up his job to go is one of the keenest rugby players in New Zealand, and he knew of all the other All Blacks that were going, and he wanted to be part of them and to be there to sort of maintain his link with All Black rugby.
Did you then assume that it was an All Black tour?
It wasn't an All Black tour, no.
What's the future for these players? Do you think that, how keen are they to get back into rugby? How realistically are they looking at the chances of getting back into first-class rugby in New Zealand this season?
Well, they're obviously keen to get back into rugby. They're all fit and well now, and, they're ready to play rugby, and hopefully that's what will happen.
So to sum it up, you're saying that as far as you know, there was nothing over and above the IRB allowance paid to players?
As far as I know, there was nothing above it.
And if any individual or the wife or girlfriend of an individual was paid over and above that, you're not aware of it?
I'm not aware of it, no.
Leading our news summary, the arrival in Auckland tonight of the Van Graaphorst family, who've decided to leave Australia because of the prejudice against their 3-year-old daughter Eve, who has the AIDS virus. Motivated by a public appeal here, the families crossed the Tasman for what they hope will be a happy and normal life here.
The family's arrival in Auckland tonight marks the start of what they hope will be a new life. But like their departure from Sydney, where they were farewelled by up to 60 reporters, their arrival was under the keen gaze of the media. Eve was given the AIDS virus in a blood transfusion. It could lead to the full-blown disease. After years of prejudice in Australia, they're thrilled to be here.
Sure.
What sort of future are you hoping to find here for the family?
A real good one.
Are you expecting to encounter the sort of prejudice you've had in Australia?
No, not at all. I don't expect it at all.
So what are your plans from now?
A happy life, hopefully.
A normal happy life?
Yeah, a normal happy life.
Pleased to be here? Do you like New Zealand? And are you going to go to kindy here?
The family's heading to Mrs. Van Graaphorst's hometown Hastings tomorrow, where as well as a welcome, they'll get $16,000 donated by the public.
4 men today received lengthy jail terms for their part in the Operation Fruit drug ring. At the High Court in Auckland, the 4 were facing sentence on charges relating to a plan which would have flooded the country with a large quantity of heroin. The judge, Mr. Justice Thorpe, said if the heroin conspiracy had succeeded, the results for society would have been calamitous. He sentenced 41-year-old Kevin John Miles to 14 years jail for importing heroin and conspiracy to supply the drug. Melvin Wilkins, the Christchurch end of the syndicate, was jailed for 7 years, and terms of 6 years imprisonment were imposed on Reginald Ritchie of Kaitaia and on a Nelson fisherman, 30-year-old David Hart. For the first time in New Zealand parliamentary history, MPs have today debated a motion of no confidence in the Speaker of the House. Although the motion didn't come to a vote, it was a rare opportunity for national MPs to voice open dissatisfaction with Dr. Gerald Wall's performance.
Tamaki MP Sir Robert Muldoon led the attack, saying Dr Wall's leadership has reached the stage where minority rights are being infringed. He says many more opposition MPs than government MPs have been ejected from the House by Dr Wall, and he was particularly critical of the way Dr Wall's handled the daily question time.
It is the Speaker that is ruling the House, not the Speaker as the chairman and elected servant of the members. That, Mr. Speaker, is where the rub comes.
The only frustration that is evident in this Parliament, Mr. Speaker, is the frustration and impotence of an opposition who, failing to be able to get their will in Parliament, blame the referee.
The two Democratic Party MPs also disassociated themselves from the motion.
Former Canadian Premier Pierre Trudeau has again been linked with possible mediation between New Zealand and France over the Rainbow Warrior affair. Speaking in Sweden, Prime Minister David Lange suggested that a neutral politician with international standing, such as Mr Trudeau, should be called in to improve the poor relations between Paris and Wellington. Mr Trudeau was linked with the job once before, but at that time said he wasn't interested. The communist newspaper Pravda reports that Soviet authorities have declared a radiation danger zone more than 100 kilometres from the Chernobyl nuclear disaster site. The paper said medical checkups were carried out on people within a 30-kilometre radius of the Ukraine area, but gave no figures on how many were treated. The news came today as the Chernobyl death toll rose to 25. Soviet television released pictures showing some of the firemen who fought the reactor blaze. Doctors say bone marrow transplants have been carried out on most of the critical patients. All those interviewed said they felt better, though some patients showed that experienced severe hair loss as a result of their ordeal. After 2 weeks of the heaviest fighting seen in Beirut this year, Shiite militiamen claim they've outnumbered and outgunned the rival Sunni Muslim faction. More than 75 people are known to have died in the fighting, with 200 wounded, although it's said many others are lying injured in their homes, afraid to venture out for treatment. The main streets of West Beirut are deserted, except for the gunmen. A shortage of fuel is keeping medical teams off the road. Syria has been trying to negotiate a truce between the factions, and today the Lebanese government appealed to President Assad to step up his efforts. In the world of finance, share prices fell back for the second day, and the Kiwi dollar eased down against three major currencies. The Barclays index fell more than 36 points. That's a drop of 50 points in 2 days. Brierley's, New Zealand Forest Products, NZI and Fletcher Challenge were among the leading stocks to fall. Overnight selling in London and New York saw the Kiwi dollar fall against 3 of the 4 currencies we monitor. That's our news summary. Lindsay.
Thanks, Neil. Opposition employment spokesman Bill Birch this evening addressed the Auckland division of the National Party, and during his speech Mr Birch spent some time explaining his ideas paper on tackling unemployment. He also took time to criticise some of the remarks the Reverend Charles Waldegrave made about the discussion paper on Eyewitness News last night. I talked to Mr Birch in our Auckland studio a short time ago. Mr Birch, among Mr Waldegrave's criticisms is that what you're proposing doesn't involve genuine job creation at all. He says it smacks of herding people together into labour camps and making them do something, anything, for the sake of doing something. How do you address that charge?
No, he's quite wrong. If he carefully rereads the paper, he'll find that the whole thrust of the proposal is that we provide positive alternatives to people rather than just accepting the dole. And the options include a range of training programs linking school with the skills that are required in the marketplace, job opportunities in community work, either through voluntary organisations or local authorities and others. And the third option will be job search, so that the young people particularly who haven't got into the full-time workforce will have a period, limited, on which they would be supported in active search for full-time work.
All of that is generality, though, isn't it? There is nothing specific in anything that you say. For example, when you talk about marketable skills, what did you personally have in mind?
There's a big problem today in that many of our young people leaving school have very little idea of just what jobs are available in the marketplace or in industry, and what skills will be required of them to make them attractive to the employer as employees.
What skills will you be training them in?
Well, I'm very concerned about the lack of literary, numeracy skills, communicative skills of people certainly who fall out of the secondary school system at a relatively early age. But many of those are the ones who finally end up on the dole and find it very hard to get into the workforce.
Would you contemplate herding people in vast numbers into great big camps where this training would be carried out? How would you implement this program?
No, it's absurd. In government, the National Party had considerable experience in developing a range of programs. They included training programs, young persons training programs using voluntary organisations. We developed a range of community work programs using the Salvation Army, community groups, local authorities and so on. Now, we want to develop those. They weren't ideal, and many of them had deficiencies, but they were successful. They were a better alternative than accepting the dole, because there was very big social costs involved in simply going on the dole, and we want to offer a range of positive alternatives to someone who says, look, I can't get a job.
What would you do to someone who didn't want to be trained in a given skill that you were seeking to have people trained in, and who didn't want to go on a community enterprise scheme? What payment, if any, would he get?
Well, I think there is a problem in the first option. Some people will not want to go into training. They may be alienated from the school system or for other reasons simply won't go into training. I think the option for them is community work.
And if they don't do that?
Now, if they don't do that and they are fitted to do it, in other words, if they're physically able to do it, if they can do it or if there are no reasons why they shouldn't do it, then we should get to the situation of saying to them, look, if you're not prepared to make a contribution to the community, then perhaps the community shouldn't pay you the dole. Now, we haven't got to that point in our paper, but we believe that's an attractive situation as far as policy is concerned.
Paying them nothing?
Well, it's not paying them nothing. It's, in fact, offering them the alternative of work. And the proposal in the paper is that they receive less than the award wage, but for less than 40 hours a week. And so that would give them some time to endeavour to get back into the workforce as well.
Daddy called it vehicle relicensing. It was slow. After we went down for the form, we had to find lots of numbers to write on it. Then we had to stand in a queue forever at the post office. Now, the postie brings the form already filled in. Daddy just checks it, signs and pays at the post office. And after this year, no long queues. Now it's so simple I can do it myself.
Like Halley's Comet, once in 75 years, your chance and Halley's chance of a lifetime lottery with $750,000 first prize and a whole lot more. $10 Monday next.
Headaches. Aspirin in a capsule.
Good idea. New Headaches aspirin capsules for fast, effective pain relief. Headaches aspirin without the taste.
Once a year, for the last 9 years, the attention of New Zealanders nationwide has focused on these dramatic events. Folk not privy to the secret training methods practiced by these Antipodean shepherds marvel at the control exhibited by their canine protégés. Share the excitement, the disappointment, the joy in the 10th anniversary of A Dog Show, brought to you once again by New Zealand Stock Foods, makers of Timona, Denkovit and Rumavite. A Dog Show, Sundays 5 p.m. on 1.
Win you $5,000 or more for a short-term investment, phone it into a BNZ Finance telephone call deposit. Your money will get a truly competitive floating rate, which can change daily. To see what the rate is doing, just look in your daily paper. Then you withdraw your money the same way you made the deposit, by phone. Just ring, and it's back. BNZ Finance telephone call deposits, the floating rate that's only a phone call away.
These paintings are rare New Zealand masterpieces. It was Paul Getty who said,
Fine art is the finest investment. And he's right. Money depreciates whilst art appreciates. The International Arts Centre in Parnell is New Zealand's foremost buyer and seller of fine art. Consult them about acquiring your own investment masterpiece. The International Arts Centre in Auckland's Parnell.
The house on the right sports thick pink fiberglass bats. The one on the left did not. That is why his power bill comes as a bit of a shock. If he has a modicum of intemperance, he will phone Foreman Insulation right now and take full advantage of their free installation service and thus avoid escalating power bills. No matter what hour of the day or night, call Foreman Insulation, New Zealand's #1 home insulation company. Foreman Insulation of Great South Road, Penrose, for thick pink fiberglass bats.
New Zealand's third plane load of relief supplies leaves for the Solomons tomorrow morning. Besides food, clothing and blankets, the Hercules will also carry 2 engineers from the Wellington Regional Water Board. They'll spend 3 weeks overseeing repairs to the Solomons water system. The engineers are the latest overseas experts to come to the aid of the islands. In our second special report on the Solomons after Cyclone Namu, Bill Simpson looks at the people giving aid, their reasons and interests.
Henderson Field, built by the Americans in World War II, is now the main airport for the Solomons, and it's the centre for international aid flowing in after Cyclone Namu. Food and medical supplies are still arriving from the World Health Organization, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, the United States and Papua New Guinea. But the sources and the nature of the aid reveal as much about the givers as they do about the needs of the Solomon Islanders. But there's no doubt that the aid is needed. Cyclone Namu now ranks alongside World War II in its ferocity and its effect on the Solomons.
Well, I think in terms of the history of our natural calamities here, this is totally unprecedented. This is the worst of its kind, totally unprepared for in our local situation, and totally out of proportion in terms of its widespread damage. And certainly the power to destroy, and it has destroyed so much in the country.
The aid has poured in so fast that it's been hard to keep track of it, and getting the relief to outlying villages and moving people around has been a major headache. Expatriates have been invaluable in liaising with the aid agencies. The man on the left, an English archaeologist, and the one on the right, an Australian signwriter, are both familiar with local villages and became just 2 of many essential coordinators.
I went past and saw the village deserted, and that's why we didn't bother to drop in, and then they've been hiding in a bloody cave.
Survivors are often lifted out of the hills and taken to other relatives. These girls lost their father, brothers and sisters in a mudslide. Their mother is in hospital.
Well, we found 38 bodies up in here the other day. This little girl that I found here, she'd been in the water for 3 days, what the doctors reckon. Poor little darling, she's only about 2.5, and I feel she must have got washed down these rivers out of the Suda where we're trying to evacuate the people now. Because there's so many mothers that have lost their children and that don't even know where the children are. You know, I mean, I have women coming to me and it's a hard thing. You know, if you're a parent of a 2.5-year-old child, what do? You're living in desperation for 2 weeks now. Where's your child? And I found one little girl, she's in the morgue, you know, and it's terrible.
The range of nations helping out has become a real who's who of Pacific interests. The former ruling country, Great Britain, sent a small squad from the Signal Corps. They trained up dozens of special constables in communications techniques, and then they dropped them off at key points in the hills to supervise evacuations and supply drops. Hundreds of Solomon Islands civil servants are involved in the operations, but they're also asking their own government for special leave and advance pay so they can return to their own villages to help their own families recover. The danger in that, though, is that the Solomon Islanders may lose control of the recovery operations. Several Japanese medical teams have been involved. The Solomons has become an attractive area for Japanese financial interests and also for ex-servicemen revisiting old battlegrounds. New Zealand's effort has been at a low profile, a 4-man team of medics and 2 engineers to assess damage. There's actually been more media people from New Zealand and the Solomons than there have been New Zealand aid workers. Solomon Islanders are familiar with New Zealanders and Australians, although the scale of helicopter operations has surprised many. Australian helicopters have been the key to evacuations and food supplies. But a newcomer on the aid scene is a private organisation, the National Safety Council of Australia. Flying a $4 million Dornier aircraft with short takeoff and landing ability, they've been servicing medical teams in outlying areas. But the real surprise has come from the other side of the Pacific. A lot of expatriates that live here call it John Wayne country. It's an area where a lot of World War II American heroes were made, including President Kennedy of PT 109 fame. But strangely, since World War II, the Americans have had a very low profile in the Solomons, except over the last few years they've been engaged in a bitter argument with the Solomon Island governments about tuna fishing rights. The Americans insist on fishing tuna within the 200-mile economic zone.
The Americans are very concerned with image. They know they've made a lot of mistakes in the Western Pacific. They don't know how to get out of the mess they're in. They're subject to lobbying power in Congress. The American Tuna Boat Association had a tremendous amount of lobbying power in Congress, which put the State Department in a difficult position.
Anne Kingaloo's been in the Solomons for 25 years. She was a missionary, married a Solomon Islander, now writes on Pacific Island affairs.
The State Department now knows that the Americans have gone far too far with their fishing and their plundering of seas, and the fact that the islanders are prepared to negotiate with Russia, who has never stolen a single fish as far as they're concerned, has frightened the Americans considerably.
Yeah, I think they're quite genuine in their presence here, because they have got within the system an office for disaster facilities, and they are using that. I hope they're not here for political purposes.
How does your government feel about closer alliance with communist countries?
At the moment, we have no intentions, nor do we have any relations with the communist countries.
Sir Peter knows that the younger Solomon Islanders do not have the same affection for the Americans that their elders have. At the moment, people may seem preoccupied with cleaning up after Cyclone Namu, or, as in this case, harvesting the new crop of firewood washed down from the hills. But even at the village level, Solomon Islanders are aware of issues such as New Zealand's stand on nuclear warships. They're also aware of the power plays within the Pacific, and they're aware that countries giving aid may have more than one reason for doing so.
It's been extremely cold and windy in the south today with some hail, and in the foothills of the Southern Alps, the Mount John Observatory recorded wind gusts of 220 kilometres an hour. To find out if conditions are likely to be as severe tomorrow, here's Garth England.
Yes, the vigorous westerlies are making their presence felt, but there should be some respite tomorrow. On this afternoon's satellite picture, you can see a cold front crossing the South Island with showers further south. And up in Wairarapa, we can see some mountain waves, these lines here. On today's map, there's a cold front, as I mentioned, crossing the South Island, followed by southwesterlies as this deep low passes to the south. Now tomorrow, the first front will weaken as it moves away to the east, but the next low in the series will be approaching southern New Zealand. And now the forecast for tomorrow. Firstly, for the north and the west of the North Island, fresh west to southwest winds, scattered showers and considerable fine periods, especially in Bay of Plenty and Taupo. Now for the east of the North Island, Wellington and Nelson, the winds will be northwesterly but moderating and the weather mainly fine. Now on the whole of the South Island, except Nelson and the south coast, fresh cold southwesterlies with showers, but in the east the showers clearing and the southwesterlies there dying out tomorrow. On the south coast, fresh cold westerlies, but there'll be still some coastal showers, but later tomorrow more widespread rain again. Now the main centre forecast, a few showers in Auckland, but fine or becoming fine in the other centres with near average temperatures. And the outlook for Friday, some showers in most districts, but fine in Wellington and the east of the North Island.
And before we go, the main stories of the day again. Cavaliers coach Colin Meads arrived home today, determined to continue as a rugby administrator in this country. Opposition spokesman Bill Birch said tonight that a national government would consider stopping dole payments to unemployed people who refused job training or community service alternatives. And Soviet authorities have imposed a radiation danger zone 150 kilometres north of the damaged Chernobyl nuclear plant.
The jury is still considering its verdict tonight in the Auckland drugs trial involving Peter Fulcher. We'll have the verdict and a full backgrounder tomorrow night. Until then, from the Eyewitness News team, good night.
Continuing Simon and Simon.
You got 15 minutes to get ready. Get ready for what? Flight to Paris. Mom called, Henri disappeared, and she's about scared out of her mind. I have a word for you, Henri.
Oh, is he all right?
AJ and Rick on a desperate attempt to rescue Mom.
Rick, wait! AJ, my mother has just been kidnapped.
I don't want to hear about we might be in a situation where we have to use these things.
The conclusion of this two-part story in Simon and Simon, Thursday at 7:30 on 2.
Tomorrow, Newsline talks about retirement villages. They're a developer's dream, but there may be pitfalls for residents. Call us from 11 a.m. tomorrow.
They say it's going to snow tomorrow.
Everyone needs an umbrella sometime. But is one umbrella enough? Can two be too many? It's time for something totally new. Dumby, the double umbrella, has arrived. Room for one, two, or more. Ideal for all. Opens automatically. Folds away easily. To a size no bigger than a standard umbrella. Send $39.99 to Dumby. Free post $9.99 Auckland. Dumby, the all-new double umbrella. Put one away now for a rainy day.
The moment you step into this world, you learn that life's hurdles are a fact of life. Health problems touch all of us, but with family support and the best care and facilities medical science can provide, health hurdles needn't be setbacks. Southern Cross Medical Care is a non-profit society, and our only concern is health care. Over 800,000 New Zealanders share the security of Southern Cross. Why don't you join us?
Ever tried to do this on a waterbed? Have you ever tried to do this with a waterbed?
You can with new Lotus Gold, the chiropractic award-winning water mattress from Tattersfield. Lotus Gold uses a unique design mark winning system of waveless water cylinders that make it the lightest waterbed around. Luxurious, waveless Lotus Gold by Tattersfield. The only water mattress to win both design mark and the New Zealand Chiropractic Award.
Hi Ramai, welcome to Play Centre. Doing things together.
Get going now for the Hit Blitz 1986 16 solid gold hits. The Bangles. Jimmy Barnes. The Hit Blitz 1986 has hit your record store now.
Once a year, for the last 9 years, the attention of New Zealanders nationwide has focused on these dramatic events. Folk not privy to the secret training methods practiced by these Antipodean shepherds marvel at the control exhibited by their canine protégés. Share the excitement, the disappointment, the joy in the 10th anniversary of A Dog Show. Brought to you once again by New Zealand Stock Foods, makers of Timona, Denkovit and Rumavite. A Dog Show, Sundays 5 p.m. on 1.
If you need a loan, get into AA Finance now for faster, easier finance, and you could win an amazing 2-week Canadian holiday for two flying Continental Airlines. Meet the proud Blackfoot Indians, explore the Rockies, catch a Mountie, and take in the big city life of Vancouver with $2,000 spending money, plus 10 prizes each month of Sanyo videos, TVs, compact disc players, microwaves, car audios, and cassette players. Get into AA Finance today at your local AA office.
Home fires are too common in New Zealand, and the #1 cause, carelessness in the kitchen. Keep safe. Think fire safe in your home.
Buying a vacuum cleaner? Don't. Well, not until you've seen the TELUS GS80 demonstration videotape. Write for a loan demonstration tape now to Freepost, TELUS Private Bag, Auckland.
This is Central Touch, the new finger touch coffee and tea dispenser from Cafe Bar. For a free demonstration, phone 09 687 198 collect and touch Cafe Bar soon.
Tomorrow, Newsline talks about retirement villages. They're a developer's dream, but there may be pitfalls for residents. Call us from 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh. I can't come.
What do you mean you can't come?
What I said, Dixie, I can't come. Are you deaf or daft?
You're buggering the job up for the lot of us, you know that, don't you?
What do you expect me to do, take the kids with me?
Well, he's taking his goose and his sodden pigeons.
I'm me ferret.
Scrounging for work, wherever they can find it, laying the black stuff, always looking, hoping for the big break.
God knows. There's nothing like hope.
Incisive social comment, shrouded in a play of brilliant dimension. Ellen Bleasdale's The Black Stuff, Saturday, 8:30 on 2.
Everything we sell is in the best of taste. We mix and match and show how to create a beautiful bathroom, kitchen or shower. At Bathroomists, we've got what it takes. We've got what it takes to satisfy. We've got what it takes to give a new room style. Bathroomists, it's true. We've got what it takes for you.
Last winter introduced people to some interesting ways to warm their homes. Many were expensive to operate, inefficient, and not exactly attractive.
Unattractive.
This winter, take a look at the exciting new Zelanian wood stoves. For the first time outside America, the computer-designed Avalon with solid brass trim and the award-winning Rembrandt with 18-karat gold door. Zelanian wood stoves, inexpensive to operate, good-looking, and very, very warming.
Warm.
Detroit, Chicago, New York, Miami were never like this. This is the City of Angels. This